Are you absolutely sick and tired of the Toronto Maple Leafs being so close, yet so agonizingly far from the ultimate prize? Do you feel that gnawing frustration every time a glimmer of hope appears, only to be snatched away by some unseen force? What if I told you that the biggest barrier between the Toronto Maple Leafs and that big name, game-changing player everyone dreams about isn't money, isn't a lack of courage, and isn't even a rival team's offer? It's a simple contract clause. A single signature made years ago that, today, could completely change the team's destiny. Sounds exaggerated? It's not, because that's exactly what's happening right now with Mika Zibanejad, one of the most talked about names this offseason, who almost became Toronto's greatest obsession. The NHL offseason, as you know, is anything but normal this year. It's been a whirlwind of activity, a chaotic ballet of roster overhauls. Entire teams are being dismantled. Stars are changing uniforms like pieces in a high-stakes chess game. And in the middle of this board, the New York Rangers made a bold, almost unthinkable move for many. They threw out the stability manual and decided to start from scratch. Chris Kreider? Gone. Jacob Trouba? Gone too. And along with them, names that were part of the very backbone of that roster. Ryan Lindgren, Kendra Miller, Philip Chittle. All sent away in a series of moves that made it crystal clear. New York is not looking at the present. They are betting everything on the future, a full-scale rebuild. Now, for those of us on this side, passionately cheering for the Leafs, this scenario sparked a brilliant light of hope. Because let's face it, when a giant decides to tear down its house, doors open for opportunity. And in the middle of that storm, one rare jewel remained, seemingly untouched by the chaos: Mika Zibanejad. At 32 years old, with an incredible 740 points in 930 career games, including a remarkable 62 points in just last season's shortened campaign, Mika is the kind of player that changes a franchise's history. He would be, without exaggeration, the missing piece to transform a good team into a championship team. A leader, an experienced center, a man who knows how to decide big games, a clutch performer. For Toronto, it seemed perfect. The ideal second-line center to complement Austin Matthews, providing unparalleled depth and a legitimate 1-2 punch down the middle. But then came the shock. A shock that says a lot about how the NHL works today, and how sometimes the best-laid plans of even the most aggressive general managers can be utterly thwarted. Before I tell you that crushing detail, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because if you're a Leafs fan, if you live for every rumor, every behind-the-scenes update, every piece of news that can change the season, this is your place. And I'll warn you, today's story is going to test your patience because it shows how sometimes not everything depends on the front office's effort or even their financial muscle. Now, let's get to what really matters. Since the last trade deadline, Zibanejad's name has been buzzing in the background. It was inevitable. When you have a player this caliber on a team that's blowing up its roster, rumors come like winter rain, relentless and chilling. And Toronto was right in the middle of those conversations. Sources hinted at it. Insiders commented. Fans were already starting to dream of that iconic blue and white jersey with Zibanejad across the back, imagining the highlight reel goals and the playoff heroics. But then came the bomb, dropped by none other than David Pagnotta, one of the most reliable insiders in the game. According to Pagnotta, no matter what the Rangers do, no matter how much they consider trading him, Mika Zibanejad isn't leaving. He has no intention of leaving New York. Why? Because he can. Because in his contract, there is a no-movement clause. And that clause is like a lock with a single key. Only the player can open it. And Mika doesn't want to. And do you know what that means, Leafs fans? That every single plan involving his name just blew up. That any hope, any dream of seeing him wearing blue and white, pulling on that iconic Leaf jersey, ended before it even started. Because Zibanejad was crystal clear. He will not waive the clause. He does not want to leave. And if he doesn't want to, there is no offer, no promise, no package of picks, no amount of money that can change that. It's a hard stop, a brick wall in the face of ambition. And here, Leafs fans, is where the conversation gets even more tense, even more frustrating, because Mika Zibanejad is not an isolated case. He's not the only one saying no. Rasmus Ristolainen, another target that could have been interesting for the Leafs' defensive needs, reportedly went the same route, exercising his contractual right to stay put. That creates a much bigger, more insidious problem for Brad Treliving, our general manager, because every star that closes a door makes options scarcer, and the pressure on the GM grows exponentially. It's not just about premium assets, salary cap space, or even finding the right trade partner. It's a matter of willingness. Who actually wants to come to Toronto? That's the question keeping a lot of people up at night in the Leafs front office, and certainly among the fan base. Because let's be honest, the pressure here is surreal. Every game, every shift, every mistake is analyzed like it's the World Cup final. The media doesn't let up. The fans demand, and they demand a lot, often with a passion that borders on obsession. Add to that Canada's higher taxes, which significantly reduce net salaries compared to many U.S. markets. And you have a scenario where many players, especially those with established lives and families, would rather stay exactly where they are, even if their current team is rebuilding. It's a comfortable life, a familiar city, and a guaranteed paycheck, all without the intense scrutiny that comes with playing in the center of the hockey universe. And you know what's crueler? Every refusal, every no, becomes fuel for unfair narratives. Oh, Treliving couldn't close any deals. But was there even a deal to close? Could anyone have closed it, given the players' contractual power? Or are we facing a much bigger, structural problem inherent to being the Toronto Maple Leafs, a team under an unparalleled microscope? It's a dilemma that goes beyond just one general manager's capabilities. Now, let's indulge for a moment in the scenarios that, tragically, won't happen. Zibanejad in Toronto would be a dream. A power play with Matthews, Nylander, and Mika would be almost impossible to stop, a pure offensive juggernaut. He would bring depth, experience, leadership, and a proven track record performing in big moments. But that's not going to happen. So what's plan B? Do we keep aiming at big stars, even knowing the chance of hearing a no is huge, effectively wasting valuable time and resources? Or do we completely change the strategy and look for names that may not have the same superstar shine, but possess the grit, the determination, and crucially, the courage to wear this jersey and face the immense pressure that comes with it? Perhaps it's about finding players who are actively seeking a new challenge, a new opportunity, rather than those who are comfortable exercising their veto power. And here's where things get even darker, even more urgent. Because if Mika Zibanejad is just the first of many to say no, how will that affect roster building from now on? How will it impact the Leafs' ability to attract the talent needed to finally break this championship drought? 2026 sounds far away, but for those who want to win now, for those who want to break this damn, agonizing championship drought, the clock is ticking fast. And I'll be honest, if Brad Treliving doesn't find creative solutions, doesn't pivot with ingenuity and determination, we're going to see a summer full of frustrations, and that could cost this franchise dearly, both in terms of fan morale and on-ice performance. The stakes couldn't be higher. Now, I want to hear from you, Leafs Nation. If you were in the GM's shoes, what would you do? Keep insisting on big names, even knowing the chance of hearing no is enormous, or completely change the approach and look for players who may not shine as bright, but have the courage, the desire, and the willingness to play here and embrace the challenge? Drop your thoughts, your strategies, your frustrations in the comments below, because I want to see how Leafs fans truly see this agonizing dilemma. Hit that like button if you feel our pain. And hold on, because in the next video, we're going to talk about another name that might actually be willing to give it all up to switch teams. A player who could bring exactly what Toronto needs to this roster without the complication of a no movement clause. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and stick around, because this saga, my friend, is just beginning.